Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie, and the BBC just announced Peter Capaldi's newest companion on Doctor Who, Samuel Anderson, so I wanted to do a video explaining who he is and how he's going to change the core group of Clara and the Doctor. I'll also be doing a follow-up Q&A later this week, so subscribe to get it if you're finding me for the first time. I typically do Q&As for really big topics like brand new companions. So let's do a quick breakdown of Samuel Anderson. His character's name is Danny Pink, and he'll also be a teacher at Coal Hill School with Clara. He's most known for previously co-starring with Coleman on Emmerdale as Ross Kirk. She played Jasmine Thomas. He's also known for his role on Gavin and Stacey as Fingers, where he co-starred with other fellow Doctor Who alumni, James Corden, who played Craig in The Lodger and Closing Time, and Joanna Page, who played Queen Elizabeth during the 50th anniversary special. Because Radio Times is calling him a new companion, we can assume that at some point he'll join Clara and the Doctor in the TARDIS. During William Hartnell's run, the same thing happened to teachers Barbara Wright and Ian Chesterton. In that scenario, they were really following the Doctor's granddaughter, Susan Foreman, though. So now let's talk about how he's going to fit into the group. I'm sure everyone is going to rush to Netflix to rewatch Season 1 to see what Wright and Chesterton's run looked like. All joking aside, I do think that Moffat is trying to pay homage to Season 1 with the dynamic and maybe even the tone a little. Peter Capaldi won't be playing a version of William Hartnell, it'll be his own original take on the character, but we as Whovians will see the similarities. A stern older Doctor with a young eager companion joined by a curious scholar. Practically, in terms of Anderson actually boarding the TARDIS, I think it'll be something like Series 5, where Rory was part of the story for the entire year, but wasn't in all of the episodes, especially the first half of the series. Does this mean that by Series 9, Anderson's character Pink will board the TARDIS full-time just like Rory did during Series 6 though? It's too hard to predict, as we don't know how long Jenna Louise Coleman will stay, and if she does leave, we don't know if Anderson will take over as full-time solo companion. I really do hope they both stay on for Series 9, because it took me almost all of Series 5 just to get used to Arthur Darvill's Rory. Mostly because he was the butt of all of Amy and the Doctor's jokes, until he changed into that Centurion character. Let's hope that Pink does not run afoul of the Daleks, because the Doctor's track record with companions is a little spotty. We actually better cross our fingers. This will be the fourth time in Doctor Who's history Coal Hill School has been heavily featured. The first being with Wright and Chesterton, then with Ace and the Seventh Doctor in Remembrance of the Daleks, then with the Eighth Doctor and Samantha in the Eight Doctors book story, and most recently with Jenna Louise Coleman during the 50th anniversary special. What is his relationship with Clara going to be like though? It's probably not going to be like Rory and Amy just because that was already done so recently. When I first saw him, I thought of Mickey just because he had such a close relationship with Rose, but it was always implied that he fancied her. It didn't help that Noel Clarke also took this picture with Jenna Louise Coleman while she was filming Series 8. He said that he was just visiting because he was nearby, but all you conspiracy theorists can have some fun with it. Seriously though, I am expecting Series 8 to be less of a relationship comedy than Matt Smith's run had become, especially with the addition of River Song, who's also rumored to make an appearance. The real question now is which episode Anderson will debut in, if not episode 1, and what his arc is going to be, and if there are going to be any other new companions after him. The good news is that we have learned some things about episode 1 though, so here they are. It takes place in Victorian London and will feature the Paternoster Gang, maybe even Jack the Ripper as one of the villains. I'd say that Anderson could be like a history professor or an expert on the subject, but really, isn't the Doctor supposed to be the universe's greatest historian, having lived through most of it himself? Ben Wheatley, the director, said in a recent interview this month that he hoped his episodes 1 and 2, will be aired as soon as July. Last year, the BBC had said that fall 2014 would be their expected start date, but it's totally possible that they could air the first episode at San Diego Comic-Con early. Last year, they only brought 2 short clips for the 50th anniversary and Adventure in Space and Time, but they have screened full episodes early in the past. I was actually able myself to see the first episode of Series 7 at WonderCon last year. The timing was very close to the official premiere, so it's possible that we will see new episodes as soon as August if they do screen an episode early at Comic-Con. Now it's your turn. Let me know, what are your reactions to Anderson's casting, and what kind of a companion do you think he's going to be? I'll be posting that Q&A video in the next day or two, so be sure to subscribe to get it. Feel free to ask me any other question about Series 8 you want. It doesn't have to be about Anderson. Right now, click here to get my top 10 fantasy picks for new Time Lords, and click here to learn more about Series 8. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tonight. High fives.